Startupedia 2025, the platform where ideas transform into reality and innovations take center stage.
Startupedia is more than just an event. It is a movement that brings bright minds together, bold ideas, and an unyielding passion for entrepreneurship. Over the next few days, we will witness groundbreaking ideas, insightful discussions, and an exchange of knowledge that will drive the future of startups.
To all the participants, this is your moment to shine, to showcase your ideas, to take the first step towards turning your dreams into successful ventures. The stage is set, the energy is high, and the possibilities are endless.
With that, I officially declare Startupedia 25 open. Let's start, scale, and succeed a future full of possibilities. Let's make this event a cherished moment.
We are honored to have all of you with us today, some of the most esteemed minds guiding us on this entrepreneurial journey. With that, I extend a warm welcome to our director, Professor S. Srinivasamurthy, whose vision and leadership continue to inspire us. A special welcome to Professor V. Srikanth, Dean Academics, whose support and guidance play a crucial role in shaping young entrepreneurs. And it's our extreme honor to welcome our today's chief guest, Mr. N.S. Rao, Group Chief Financial Officer at Ramki Group. We also been privileged to have Dr. Prarthana Kumar, our esteemed program head, whose dedication to fostering innovation is truly commendable. And of course, a big shout out to our Startupedia student coordinator, Mr. Sai Hemant.
I now welcome Professor S. Srinivasamurthy sir onto the dais. Professor S. Srinivasamurthy, Director of Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad, is a distinguished finance academic with nearly 3 decades of experience. A PhD in finance, he has collaborated with IIMs, NITs, and World Bank and ADB. He has authored 15 books, guided PhD scholars, and led 100+ executive programs. Recognized with prestigious award, his expertise spans corporate finance, project appraisal, and finance services. I request our ECEL student coordinator, Vidhi, to present sir with a bouquet.
Honored to welcome our today's chief guest, Mr. N.S. Rao, Group Chief Financial Officer at Ramki Group. Mr. N.S. Rao, Group Chief Financial Officer at Ramki Group, is a finance leader with over 3 decades of experience in corporate finance, restructuring, M&A, and distress asset resolution. He has held senior roles at Brescon, Can Bank Venture Capital Fund, and Canara Bank. He has held senior roles at Brescon, Can Bank Venture Capital Fund, also in advising on high-value financial restructuring projects. As a UT Austin AI and ML program graduate, he developed a predictive analytics framework for financial stress management. A former university-level sports leader, he is known for his strategic leadership and mentoring. Now I request
Professor V. Srikanth, Dean Academics, onto the dais. Professor V. Srikanth, Dean Academics at Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad, is a seasoned academic with 29 years of experience in research, teaching, training, and consultancy. A PhD in marketing, he has led 19 research and consultancy projects for organizations like AICTE, ICSSR, NMDC, and state governments. He has guided 12 PhD scholars and conducted national conferences on marketing and management. His expertise spans marketing strategy, CRM, and corporate finance. I request our ECEL student coordinator, Karthik, to present sir with a bouquet.
Thank you, Karthik. I now request Dr. Prarthana Kumar onto the dais. Dr. Prarthana Kumar, Assistant Professor and Program Head for PGDM Marketing Management at IPE, specializes in multisensory, marketing, branding, and consumer behavior. A PhD from the University of Hyderabad with postdoctoral research from ICSSR. She has widely published and presented research nationally and internationally. She has led Startupedia for the past 10 years and is part of the EU-sponsored SESTAR project on sustainable tourism. Her expertise includes neuromarketing, sensory branding, and women consumer behavior. I now request ECEL student coordinator Ashita to present now with a bouquet.
Thank Thank you, Ashrita. Lastly, I invite our student coordinator, Startupedia 25, Mr. Hemant, onto the dais. Mr. Hemant, the core graphic designer of ECEL IPE, brought together his expertise in design to shape the visual and strategic appeal of Startupedia 25. With a strong foundation in marketing, he understands how visuals influence and engagement and has crafted designs that not only look great but also have effectively communicated the essence of the event, from eye-catching posters to digital branding. His work enhanced the all-over experience, making the event even more immersive and impactful. I request our recent student coordinator Vidhi to present Hemant with a book.
Now, I invite Dr. Prarthana Kumar, Assistant Professor and Program Head for PGDM Marketing Management, to brief about Startupedia. I welcome you upon the dais, ma'am.
Honorable Director, Professor Murthy, our respected Chief Guest, N.S. Rao Garu, sir, Dean Academics, Professor Srikanth, respected faculty colleagues here in the auditorium, participants, students, and friends, good morning and welcome to the 11th Startupedia, which is the national level startup summit that we have been doing for 11 years now. I take this opportunity to introduce to you about the entrepreneurship cell at IPE. We have had this platform dedicated to fostering innovation and entrepreneurial skills, and among which the most important part is that we offer workshops, mentoring programs, hackathons, networking events, incubation opportunity, and most importantly, connect to the startup ecosystem of Hyderabad. Startupedia, which is our flagship event, the annual event is almost a 36 hours dedicated dynamic hackathon where participants experience startup life cycle, refine their ideas, connect with mentors, incubators, investors, co-founders, and investors. Now, important and to how is it a little different from the others is that through this initiative, the ECEL and Startupedia at IPE, we significantly contribute into building entrepreneurial spirit among most of our young generation. Now, under the guidance and leadership of our director, Professor Murthy, we encourage students to practice studentpreneurship, or you might also call it as student entrepreneurship. We encourage our students to practice, to work, to do business, to take initiation, along with study and academic matters. Why studentpreneurship is something which is important and we encourage is because, one, it makes you financially independent. You know how to generate and handle money. Second is that you get a practical learning. You know that what you study in the class, you are able to apply it at the right place. You also are able to network well. You can boost your career by trying to get those skills which are much needed in the job market. And most importantly, you become a problem solver. Now, what's important and why does Startupedia help you and how does it help you in this studentpreneurship? We try to make sure that we give you an offer so that you can leverage the ecosystem connection that we have, so that most of you who would wish to start up have the ability to reach, get mentored, groom your ideas, and then get incubated too, where and how as needed. Just to give you some details of some startup, or let me say studentpreneurship statistics that will be of interest to you, because I understand that most of you are students representing different colleges. We have entrepreneurial intention, global way. See, there is an organization called the Global University Entrepreneurial Spirit Survey, and they did a survey on around 2,67,000 students in 58 countries, and they found that almost 80% of the student intended that we will start our business in, let's say, 5 years of graduation, and 9% were already engaged in entrepreneurship, and this is a worldwide score. Moving on, India is more promising. We have India's average score for wanting to do the business in the Indian students on an average of 4.6 out of 7, when the global average is around 3.7 only. That ideally means we are a fertile ground, and this is the best part when it comes to it, and therefore events like Startupedia become more relevant, because we are trying to give fertile ground to our students so that they can literally start up and stand up so that we can take it forward. The point I'm driving home here is that in the next 2 days, what you will be witnessing is, one, power-packed presentations and good content that you will be able to understand. We have a very powerful speaker with us, N.S. Rao sir, and he's here representing and encouraging startups, because yesterday when I spoke to him, he was very high off the young talent trying to come into and starting up on their own. After which, from the 11 o'clock onwards, 11:30 onwards, you have power-packed speakers. If you look into your schedules, you will very much understand that we have topics in terms of global investment and where the money is being put into. We have things in terms of AI and the job market and the skills that are required to prepare for it.
We have many challenges, and the challenges have to be met by the academic institutions and everybody in the country. One, of course, India being the largest populated country, more than 150 crore population, the challenge will always be having employment for the graduates. NEP 2020 says that we have to bring out skilled graduates from the system so that they are accepted by the industry. Skilled graduates are needed by the industry. So we have to fill that gap, and institutions should work towards supplying skilled graduates to the industry. That is one point. Student who completes education has two opportunities. One, he can join his choice of his company, proving himself in the placement process, or he can create employment for others. That's what the challenge for India is, creating employment for lakhs of engineering and management graduates. It is a demographic dividend for India. We are proud. Nowhere in the globe we have a country like India producing so many engineering and management graduates. Time will come when the entire globe has to look for India for skilled manpower. India will emerge to that extent. But we have a challenge. We have to face the challenge, and having ecosystem for entrepreneurship will help in this direction. So any person who wants to succeed as an entrepreneur, you might have listened to the interviews of people who have succeeded. It's not that easy. Doing job as per the rules and regulations is easy when compared to starting your own business, running it successfully. There are many people who started and closed because they could not sustain. Now, what is that contributes to the success of any new enterprise? What qualities a student should have as successful entrepreneurs? I believe that there are three important, I call them as 3 P's. First P is the passion. Passion to do something of your own. If that passion is not there, you cannot do anything, right? That passion drives you. Think newly, innovatively, come out with ideas, talk to people, and start your own enterprise. The second P is the perseverance. It is not just having passion sufficient. You have to cultivate that into a logical project idea. For that, you have to do feasibility studies, prepare the project report, talk to the people who have experience, do the financial feasibility, technical feasibility, market feasibility, preparing financial projections. All this is a process. In spite of that, there will be risk factors. So you should be ready to take the risk as well. There are controllable, non-controllable factors for project success. But you should have the wherewithal to handle this. So when you work hard, have the proper homework, come out with a project report, approach the banker for finance, and start that. And you have to continue that. The third P will be there, the patience. During the process, In future, patience is that virtue which will help you a lot. Because every day you come across new problems in the new venture. It may be lack of supply of raw material, or people not turning up, or power supply is not there, or you don't get the finance in time. There are so many problems. You have to carefully, coolly manage your enterprise. You can always take the help of others, but you cannot run away from the scene because you have taken a responsibility. So patience is very important in that context. And as I have been telling our students, it applies to any budding entrepreneur. You have to remember another three P's. What are they? When you join the company also, you are thinking about profit. Yes. When you become entrepreneur also, you think about profit. First P is the profit. If you don't generate the bottom lines, you will not retain your job. Similarly, entrepreneur cannot continue for a long time because it is not a service. You have to, because people are working for you, you have to pay salaries, you have to create the infrastructure, facilities, profit becomes very important. The second P is the people. You should take care of the people. And I say people, not only the employees, all stakeholders. That's where the question of corporate governance comes into picture. You have to follow the rules and regulations, have a proper board structure, take decisions which are transparent, which contribute value to the enterprise. That's why you are responsible. You have to create value for the enterprise because market is watching, government is watching, all stakeholders are watching. And third P is the planet. It is not the profit for you, profit for the company alone. You should also take care of the planet. If you are greedy, then you are actually doing damage to the next generations. Think about the next generations. So protect the planet, have the sustainability as an important plank. That's the reason reporting system has undergone a sea change. You have to report ESR, environmental, social, and reporting system has come in place. Sustainability has to be properly reported, and it is the best way. The companies who are reporting sustainability initiatives clearly, they are attracting better value when compared to other enterprises. So think about the planet. We have seen natural disasters taking place. Why not? We have seen calamity. So if you overuse the natural resources or misuse the natural resources, nature will react. So it is your responsibility to protect the mother planet so that you are giving a good planet to the next generations to come. So you have to keep all these things in mind. I am sure the 2-day Startupedia event will give many ideas to the people, the students and the other students from other colleges present here. I compliment Dr. Prarthana. Give a big round of applause to her. And all the student teams who are working till late morning, a big round of applause to the entire team of Startupedia. Now, these are all great experiences, memories you are going to have. And I request all of you to listen to the deliberations, interact with the people who are present here, and learn. And we'd like to see some of you coming out saying that you have started your own enterprise. I think that is the ultimate objective of Startupedia. Once again, I thank Sri N.S. Rao Garu for accepting to be the chief guest. I also thank the Ramki Group for providing financial support. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Now, I invite Professor V. Srikanth, Dean Academics, to speak few words. I welcome you, sir.
Respected Chief Guest of the Day, Sri N.S. Rao Garu, Group CFO, Ramki Group. Respected Director, Sir, Professor Srinivasa Murthy Garu, Dr. Prarthana, Hemant, my dear faculty colleagues, and dear students. A very good morning. And this is the 11th edition of Startupedia, and it is to the credit of Dr. Prarthana that she has been in the forefront of the Startupedia movement in IPE. So, before I go further into this particular thing, let us also look at the entire background of the entire startup systems in India. since independence, there was a lot of regulations and restrictions on the industry and on the people. There is restriction on what you are going to produce for the companies, how much you are going to produce also. The thing is, a company was fined for producing more. There was a time when, I am giving an example here, a permission was given to the company to manufacture 10,000 units per month. And this company, because of its efficiency, it managed to produce 12,000 units. And the officials have come and said, you have violated because you have been given permission for 10,000 only and you have manufactured more, and they were penalized. So that was the system which was there, which shackled our Indian industry, which shackled the private sector and the entrepreneurship spirit in our country. And this thing changed in 1991. After we abolished the license Raj system and the country moved towards what we call as a liberalization, privatization and globalization. So it freed up the industry, it freed up the entrepreneurial spirit. But years of being restricted, there was slow movement. And actually, if you are saying, of course, there was many good entrepreneurs have come up from 1991 to 2015. But what we are seeing in the last 10 years, the number of innovations, number of startups which have come up is significant. It is significant. Maybe technology has aided in this particular thing, because nowadays most of the startup ideas are based upon technology, and this is a time of technology, and this young generation is more tech savvy than any other generations before. So therefore, you are in the right times. Startup is also about the attitude and the spirit. And the thing is, as we are telling, at that point of time between 1947 and 1991, even till 2000s also, every young graduate's thing is how to get a government job. Getting government job was the greatest thing. And it was highly competitive, and they worked for it. Then in the next, the private sector opened up, getting a good job in a private sector, in IT industry particularly, was the dream of many of the youths. But now, the dream of the youth is also about giving jobs to the others. Instead of being an employee, I want to be an employer and give jobs to a large number of people. That is the attitude students are developing, and this attitude is only the thing which is going to take India forward. Okay? We have reached the position of the third highest economy in the world. Okay? And if we have to move to the number 2 and to number 1, okay, we have to manufacture big in India. Okay? We have to come up with innovations. Okay? And that is what is going to drive India to future greater heights. So, there are many difficulties in starting up ideas everybody gets. Okay? But translating that idea into action, and while translating that into action, will come across a lot of difficulties. There are people who will say no to our ideas. There are people who find it very difficult to get funding. I have seen in my relative circle only people who have started with great ideas had difficulties in getting funding. I had talked to the venture capitalists and angel investors also, and they also, the thing is that they are also very reluctant to come up that easily. It's in principle, and they are telling that we will provide finances. Okay, if idea is good, but sometimes they also play very safe. They don't give the finances that easily. So there are difficulties. That is where our director sir was mentioning. You should have patience, passion, and perseverance. Perseverance is the ability to continue even when things are difficult. పట్టు వదలని విక్రమార్కుడు అన్నట్టుగా దట్ పర్టికులర్ థింగ్ షుడ్ బి దేర్. ఓకే, ఇన్ స్పైట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ డిఫికల్టీస్, రేపు కంపెనీ మూసుకుపోతుంది అన్నట్టు ఆ దీంట్లో కూడా పట్టు వదలకుండా if you carry on, then only you will get to the success. So that kind of thing is required for you to go to the next higher levels and take India to the greater levels. May God bless you. All the best.
Thank you, sir, for that enlightening speech. Now, I invite our chief guest, Mr. N.S. Rao, sir, to speak a few words.
Hi, good morning to you all. Good morning to the esteemed the organizers as well as the esteemed members of this particular institution whom they have not only built but they are nurturing, and also a beautiful effort of this Startupedia. The few words which are not only wise but also quite insightful by Sri Srinivasa Murthy garu and Srikanth, and of course brilliant opening remarks by Dr. Prarthana Kumar. I think that set a tone here. What I would do is that I will not get into any theoretical framework of the startups. We talk about the life, and in this life, what is this startup system? Few decades ago, when I was a student, the major emphasis of the parents were that, beta, acha pad lo, then government नौकरी ढूंढ लो, pension आएगा, then get married, have a house, have a kids, have a happy life. The emphasis was employment oriented. Please mind it. Later that shifted to a thing that it's not just the graduation, but you specialize in something like either in the medicine or in the engineering. And there was a great rush for the people to become the doctors. And the people started exploring the external shores. People started going to, in 60s, 70s, to go to US and do the masters, either MS, MD was a craze. Then came the 1980s and 90s and K2000. How many of you know? I do not know. People said that all the information technology systems and the smart devices with year 2000 comes, when it has to start from 1999 to 2000, there will be a big chaos because the systems would not be in a position to migrate and transform to the new database systems and also the various other aspects. I will not dwell into the technical thing. And then started the interest and insight and also the opportunities of an information technology related domain, or let us say technology, or let us say the engineering kind of a thing. Then people thronged the academic institutions to do the engineering. Then there came another idea that was in 1990s and 2000 and on. Not just these academic the qualifications, either in the science and technology are sufficient. You should also have a management degree. And that's how the management education has started. This is the trajectory with which last 20, 30 years, still last 10 years have happened with the you students. When I was a student and they were the students, this was a kind of the environment that was there. That get educated, get some skills, then employ yourself to serve an organization, get paid, and lead your life. Today that is changed. Today, all of you are here in a different ecosystem where you can not only experiment with your knowledge, you can not only experiment with your skills, but you can experiment with something very, very different and big. Can anybody tell me what it is? You can dream. You can dream and make your dreams a reality. It was not possible during our times because of the various socio-economic factors and the compulsions and also the culture and the system that was there in the family and the society. Today, you are encouraged to dream and become whatever you want. And the question is that today that ecosystem, what is ecosystem? You, your family, your surroundings, your society, the industry and the government and government policies and your engagement not only with your country, externalizing yourself, that is the globalization. Today the ecosystem is such that when you are educating yourself and when you are preparing yourself to get yourself launched into this world, you are not just getting launched into this world to earn some bucks, to earn some salary, or to just, but you can also dream to become whatever you want. This is a first step. But when you dream, then you always would like to be somebody who is different, somebody who is special, or somebody who is the personality who has come up with either a new idea or that has not been seen. Normally, I think if you are the students, what is that the preciousness is attached to anything? What is the most precious thing? Whether it is a material, whether it is anything. Precious thing is that either it has got such value which is not there in others, or it is unique, which you don't find anywhere. And if you have any idea which is either unique or precious and which has a value for not only for yourself, for either the society or an industry, is that idea you can experiment, you can explore, and you can take it forward with a dream. That's where I think this startup. The start, I divide it into two words, the start and the up. We will see what exactly it is. So, you are at a unique phase of this country's development, or let us say the entire, let us say, from agrarian economy to the industrial economy to the technology driven, and now today in the AI and ML, that is artificial intelligence. But there is something which is happening. That is, an individual has a freedom, mind you, an individual has a freedom to experiment himself to become whatever he wants or she wants. And you, as the bright students and the budding entrepreneurs and the future leaders, you know what is the only constraint that you have for your growth? Can anybody tell? The only constraint for your growth is here. James Allen, almost about 140 years ago, he said, whatever human mind conceives, perceives and believes, it can happen. अगर आपके पास एक दृढ़ संकल्प है, सब कुछ मुमकिन है. पूरा कायनात जो है, it will connive itself, it will deceive itself to get into your channel to help you. And this kind of a freedom you people have today, which we didn't have during our generation. So you are at a stage of the development of the entire, I would say only an ecosystem. I will not say the history, I will not say the industrial phase or a technology phase, but you are at a phase of a human civilization where you have a freedom to become what you want, and for which I think you can experiment with your ideas. And now, if you have to experiment with ideas, I think some time back I just heard that even if you want to produce 12,000 units when you have been given a license for 10,000 units, you have been hauled up because it is a regulatory breach. Thanks to the liberalization and also thanks to the various reforms and innovations have come, today you have a framework of the regulatory framework where you can experiment anything within certain bounds. So that is the premise on which you are today. Okay, from here, where do you go? How do you go? And what you should do? The brilliant Startupedia that you have started, sir. I really like the slogan that you have got. I think this is the start, the scale up, that is the one, and also succeed. I will give you the two stories. Please listen to me very carefully. I think I have got 10 minutes time, sir. Is that right? Okay. Please carefully listen to me. Because if you want to take up any idea to experiment with it and become an entrepreneur, a business owner, and then if you have to then not only start it, scale it up and succeed, there are many ingredients which are required. And this is a huge subject. There are the faculty and also your life that will teach you. But I'll give you two stories. I think this should give you some insight into what exactly happens in the business world. Because when you get into you are an entrepreneur, what are you? An entrepreneur is the one who is a creator. He is a Brahma. An entrepreneur is not only creates, but he has to preserve his business. He is the Vishnu. And he has to sometimes to reinvent himself and go forward. He has to leave certain things which he has already built, disrupt it, and get on to the new innovation cycle. That's how you have got the Shiva. An entrepreneur is no less than this. You are a trinity in yourself. Believe this. And then the next things will follow. So startup doesn't happen just like that. And the self-belief starts on the strength of the idea and the conviction that you have got. 1880s to almost 1990s. About 100 to 110 years, a company existed very successfully. Its name is Kodak Eastman Company. How many people have heard about the Kodak camera or Kodak roll or Kodak this one? Okay, fine. Great. And this company was the first to introduce the camera roll. Earlier there used to be plates. You would have a huge, let us say, stand, and you have got a cover. The people will bring and put that silver plate, take out the lens and keep it. Then you have got a photograph. Kodak has come out with a reel, a film, which is convenient, easy to operate, and also most productive. That was in 1804. That is the first innovation. 1888, they came out with not this entire the paraphernalia, just a camera, and they say, you click, rest of the things we will do. Kodak cameras have come. Great run. Then they came out with the first color film or a color photograph in 1935. Everybody followed them. In 1945, 1950 or 65, they came out with, how many people have heard this instant photograph? It is nothing today because we have got a digital domain today. After inventing it, they did not commercialize. It is a Polaroid which has commercialized it. Polaroid. Their innovation was. Then they came out in 1975, if my remembrance holds me good, with a digital camera and the digital this one. they did not go forward because what happened was that they already built the huge industrial component system. You want a reel, the camera reel, you have got the Kodak. If you want, let us say, the processing material, you have got it. You have got a camera itself, you have got it, and you have got various other things. So the business and its components were built around its business, which is billions of dollars. If the digital camera comes, this entire thing would get changed. So that means you have to disrupt it. You have to become a Shiva to have a new innovative thing to build that. Sony captured it. It has become a great the digital the camera company, and by 1970s, 80s, 90s, its business was vanished. It filed the bankruptcy papers, and today it is trying to be in the space with various other things. This is one story. Please just go through what has happened and how this has happened and where they have landed, what contributed to this. Why I am telling you this is that, how many people heard Mr. Peter Drucker? Peter Drucker is considered to be the father of the modern management. You know what he said? Study of the management is nothing but study of the history. If you study the history, you know the various events which have shaped the human civilization progress, and also all those leaders who have shaped this, and all those events which have shaped. That's why I am giving you an historical company's travel where there are a lot of learnings. We'll see what are the learnings after some time. The second one, it will take another 3 minutes. During the same time, there was a boy who was born, I think it was in 1890. His name is Harlan Sanders. Who was this guy? Harlan Sanders. Okay. How many of you have visited a Kentucky Fried Chicken, the outlet? KFC. Okay, fine. Let me just do it. KFC. How many heard about the KFC? Okay, fine. This guy was born into a poor family, very difficult to continue his education. At the 7th standards, he just quits. 7th standard. Then he works in a service station for about 27 years, till he reaches about 40. In his service station in US, what happens is that people come and get the gas filled up, and they also pick up either a burger or let us say something to eat, and they'll have a cola and drink. So it is also a eatery attached to the most of these, what we call as the petrol bunks here, that is a service station. Normally you have got this, and also merchandise. He started serving the food to them. And what he has done, in 1940, I think, 1840, 1850, yeah. So, he was around 40 years. He prepared a recipe with 11 herbs. Please listen to me. If the Hyderabadis are there, they will love it, okay? Or anybody who is a Nizami food, the favorite, he would love it. 11 herbs. All these herbs are mostly the spices and condiments that we commonly use in Indian kitchen. Okay, the Indian kitchen, 11 spices and the herbs, he has taken them and he has marinated the chicken, and what he has done, he has not only marinated, but he made them steam cooked. Steam cooked. What happened in this process was that all this would seep, the juices would seep into the flavors. Not only juices, the flavors will seep into this particular food material, and this has become, in what we call in India, particularly in Hyderabad, damka chicken. You close it, you would just have a lid, Inside you would have the rice, then you have got the various spices and condiments, then you have got the non-veg, then another layer and another layer. Totally close it with a small mouth with the atta, that is the dough. And then you simmer it for about an hour or 2 hours. Then you have got the beautiful Jafrani, or let us say the Nizam biryani. Almost about 100 years ago, he experimented with that, whereas our people have been doing for hundreds of years. Then he started vending it. People loved it. And in about just 2 years, he opened 200 franchises in US itself. Exactly after about 20-30 years, in China, a KFC outlet would have 100 people waiting to taste this food item. China, remember, it is a bland food country. Okay? And at what age he has started? The overseas expansion was at the age of 60. And rest is the history. Today we have got about 22,400 locations, about 140 countries where KFC is there. So what is the sum and substance of these two stories? I would love to have one more because the marketing experts are here. Steve Jobs. He started Apple. In 1970s, he brought Dennis Scully after they have, let us say, expanded, because they felt that for the expansion, they needed a marketing expert. And I think Dennis Scully was working in PepsiCo at the time. He said, please come and join me. He was reluctant because by that time it was number 2 beverages and he was earning millions of dollars going to a startup company, Apple, and experimenting with the so-called the esoteric information technology systems, desktops and all that stuff. He said no. Steve Jobs chased him almost for about 3 years, and ultimately he told him one thing. Dennis, how long you will sell the colored water? He was shocked. I said, I have got something innovative, it is going to change the world. Then Dennis Scully joins Steve Jobs. Exactly after 3 years, he will be kicked out. Steve Jobs, who is the entrepreneur, who is the innovator, who is the originator of, he kicked out of boardroom of the Apple and he goes to the Pixar. Imagine that you have built something with your own sweat and blood and also your brain work and also such a long, arduous journey, but from your own company or enterprise you have it kicked out. Steve Jobs went out and built that Pixar. And exactly after 5 years, I think, 3 to 5 years, he again comes back to Apple. Rest is the history. So what is the essence of these 3 stories? Okay, let me just sum it up because I've got another 2 minutes, I think. Innovation doesn't alone will deliver the goods. You have to innovate and you have to work on that to scale it up for a success. But is it sufficient? Innovate, start, scale it up, succeed. What happened to Kodak? 100 years of the success did not let him be to at the top. All you people listened him to one sentence. If you want to stay where you are, you have to run. If you want to stay where you are, you have to run. Can you imagine this? अगर मुझे जिस स्थिति में इधर आके खड़ा हूँ, अगर इस स्थिति को अगर मुझे मेंटेन करना है, मुझे भागना पड़ेगा. Means I have to learn further. I have to further experiment. I have to further innovate. I cannot stay put. I have to be on a constant endeavor of exploring new things. Kodak failed because it could not imagine what is going to happen in the future. It did not want to disrupt it and re-innovate itself. We call it as, after success, we call this as reinvent yourself and then progress. If you don't do it, then what happens to the Kodak? So, apart from the innovation and the passion and the success, whatever that you do, you need to have to check yourself every time and see what the market wants. Are you customer centric or not? The customer centricity is the story of Amazon. It started as a books selling company, but today it caters to everything to do. That is the customer centric. Okay? It's not just your startup or your wealth or your success that alone will deliver the goods, but you should also have your ears and the heart to the market, what's happening there, and then come back and reinvent yourself and start. But for all these things, what you should have? A great passion. जिस चीज़ में आप दिल लगाते हो, वो चीज़ आपका हो जाती है. Mind is not alone, will not deliver the goods. Along with your mind, you have to put your heart into it. Perhaps you will achieve. That is the passion. That is alone allowed? No. Achha, what is the right time to start any idea to be startup? Can anybody tell me? What is the right time to experiment with your ideas? Just start. How many people have heard the Nike slogan? What is the Nike slogan? Just do it. Bro, just do it. If you have an innovative idea, don't sit on that. Well, work on that incessantly, passionately, but try to see that it is off the pinjara, cage. This dove is immediately out. Then slowly you should build on that. Because I don't want to get into the parapsychology and also the other esoteric sciences. As we sit here, every 10th person must be thinking the same idea. I'll give you a real life example. 2000, when Amazon has started its work, sir, and my dear young friends, there was another company in Hyderabad, in Panjagutta, started in the same way. This company's name is called Pardeshi.com. They had much advanced ideas than the Amazon. Professor Chandra came from, let us say, America, and I was fortunate enough to associate with him. I was the country managing director for the Pardeshi.com in 2000, and at the time, we said, make a wish, it will happen. It is a technology platform. Technology platform, make a wish, it will happen. And we wanted to bring a lot of products and services onto that exchange platform where all over the world the Indians would trade their services and goods and their intellect and everything, which could not go forward. But today what Amazon does is that everything imaginable under the sun, it would give you. Just go and click it, you will get that product. So you have the same idea, 2000, somebody has gone and become the world's leader and somebody hasn't come. So as you sit here, you have to allow your ideas to just take the wings, experiment with it and have enough passion, your total being involved to take it forward. Then while scaling up, what exactly is required is that this particular convention which is happening. For this idea to be appreciated and also to be taken forward, you need to present your business plans. You have to articulate what exactly this business plan would pan out to be, how it is beneficial to, let us say, either an industry solving a problem, or it is an innovative product which is going to serve a new need, or a need which is much less costlier, or something which is totally disruptive. For which when you present a plan, people, the panel of the judges will judge whether it is right or wrong. So it would have all the things with the technology, marketing, distribution channel, and your financial plan, then the spreadsheets and all those things. So you should know that how your idea can convert into a business plan and how this business plan can be sold, where you get all your salesmanship qualities and marketing qualities, okay? This particular forum, today and the next day, another 2 days, when you people present your business plans of your ideas, how they can become the commercial enterprises, where you become an entrepreneur and a businessman, you will have to convince them this is how it is. So first you convince yourself, you put together a framework of a business enterprise around that, convince the people, and then what you will get out of this? Can I get my business fly just by this business plan presentation? पैसा चाहिए भाई. Without funds, can you start a business? If anybody can start a business, I would love to hear. You need the resources. Out of these resources, one of the things is the money or the capital. So you'll get the funding. So this kind of the things will give an exposure. Please experiment yourself. Don't shy. If you have got an idea, put together a business plan, work out on that, and make a presentation. You know what happens when you make a presentation? You'll know where you stand. Either it could be a bullshit or it hit a bullseye. But you know where you are. You know that by experimenting yourself, by making presentation in such forums, you would know what will work, what will not work. Elon Musk, how many people have heard about him? कोई एक Elon Musk जैसा कोई आदमी है? Who is Elon Musk? Come on, guys, buck up. SpaceX originator and today dog's advisor to Trump. One of the greatest inventors currently living. And he failed umpteen number of the times on the SpaceX. Even 3 days back, I think, in one of the experiments, he failed. Failure is not a stop button. What is failure? Come on, now you are all enterprising, spiritful people. Thomas Alva Edison, who has invented this bulb? Thomas Alva Edison. Somebody asked, like me, an intelligent guy, he went and asked, साला तुम 1000 बार जो है experiment करके तब जाके bulb बना है. How many times? 1000 times you have experimented. You know what Thomas Alva Edison smiled and told to that guy? Bloke, I now know 1000 times how not to make a bulb. I know how to make a bulb. So failure is nothing but inadequate preparedness, stepping stone for the success. So don't worry about the failure. Experiment yourself, make the presentations, 100 times you make a presentation. I know when Mr. Narayana Murthy came to me when I was a venture capitalist, I was to fund him for, I was a venture capitalist during that time, it was 1990s. I'm sorry. We couldn't fund him. Look at him, where he is. Rejection is not the one we should really bother about. It should reinvent yourself. It's just inadequate preparedness. So prepare yourself, make your presentations, listen to the people, correct yourself. This is the stage of experimentation. Don't stop. You have to experiment yourself, then you learn a lot. Then whatever that this 2 days experience gives you, that would be a wonderful thing. I'm sorry, I have taken a little extra time that was required. I wanted you people to get yourself prepared. It's not a, and you know, you are very fortunate to be in the era where you are living, because I have seen 1990s where we did not have 5 days of the foreign exchange reserves. Today we have got $600 billion. You people are extremely fortunate to do whatever you want in your life with whatever that you have learned. If 200 to 300 of these people have got at least, let us say, 100, 200 ideas, even if one clicks in the next 2 days, it's going to be next unicorn, $1 billion company. And please believe me, this is the right age at which you are, where you can experiment yourself. We should live a life where you should not regret in the future, I could have done that. Do it now. Okay? So you should have an idea, a passion, and never say die attitude, and also the perseverance to pursue, succeed, but don't sit on the success, because sitting on the top is very difficult. वहाँ आपको जो है, आपका कुर्सी जो है, जैसे ही हिलती है नीचे आ जाएंगे. So when you grow up, be rooted down to the ground, be humble, and reinvent yourself. And I wish you all a great success. Thanks a lot for this opportunity to share few of my ideas with you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring words. I'm sure the audience are more inspired than ever and motivated than ever. Now, I request our Director, sir, and Dean, sir, to present a memento to our chief guest.
As we conclude the grand inaugural ceremony of Startupedia 25, I take this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude to everyone who has contributed to making this event a reality. First and foremost, a heartfelt thank you to our esteemed board of governors, whose unwavering support and vision continue to inspire us all. We also thank our esteemed director, Professor S. Srinivas Murthy sir, whose continued support and guidance have helped us in conducting such a grand event. A huge thank you to our incredible chief guest, Sri N.S. Rao sir, for sharing their invaluable insights and experience with us today. Your words have ignited new ideas and inspired our participants to dream big and take bold steps towards success. We also thank Ramki Groups for their support to the Startupedia. A special thanks to Dean Academics V. Srikanth sir, whose guidance has played a crucial role in shaping this event. We also thank our Dean Research, Dr. C.H. Lakshmi Kumari ma'am, for her unwavering support and guidance. Our sincere appreciation also goes to Dr. Prardhana Kumar ma'am, our ESL head, to her dedication and relentless efforts in fostering entrepreneurship at Institute of Public Enterprise. Also, we thank the faculty of IPE for leaving no stone unturned and helping us in every possible way. Now, we take a moment to thank Admin IPE for their enthusiastic support and guidance. And of course, a big round of applause for our entire Startupedia core team and volunteers, each and every single member's commitment and hard work in bringing this event to life. Now, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to the esteemed journalists and media agencies for their invaluable support in covering our event. Your efforts in bringing our initiative to a wider audience are truly appreciated. To all the participants, aspiring entrepreneurs, and students, this event is for you. Your enthusiasm, creativity, and passion are what make Startupedia a thriving hub of innovation. We encourage you to seize this opportunity, network, learn, and make the most of this incredible platform. With that, I officially extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for making this inaugural session a grand success. Let's make these 2 days full of learning, collaboration, and breakthrough ideas. Thank you, and let's continue to innovate, pitch, and succeed.
Thank you, Hemant, for your great words. I request all the participants, ESL team, and the volunteers onto the dais to have a captured moment with us.